We are Ben and MP, and we've been bringing this doomed schooner back to life. In today's episode, we're doing many things, but the most exciting one is that we take Yabá for a sail. Join us today, and don't forget to subscribe to continue watching how this story unfolds.
The superstructure is now ready to be varnished, finally, after, I don't know, months of making it see-through enough and looking nice. Also, the pilot house has been sanded and it's also ready to receive its some fiberglass, so that's going to be soon. Just got to go and pick it up first. And lots of ballast in the meantime is still being made. There it's being filled after it has been cut over here. How heavy is that one?
This one is 0 kilos so far.
And that's about what's been going on lately. So
that one's being filled.
That one's being filled. Let's have a look.
Olha! Vai, quase. Vai.
If you don't know yet what this is steel, like dust, which might have been used for sandblasting or sandblasting, steel blasting, I guess, one day. Or it's just what's left over from steel sanding, and it came in bags like this. And the guy who's helping us is Vinicio. He's come to help on the boat, and he's been super helpful so far. Another little thing you should know is these are made for sewage, so if they hold in sewage, they should hold in anything that we're trying to put in. Also, the lids have got a rubber seal in, so once it's on, it kind of tightens itself. And then also, once they're in the boat and they're all in the right place, we're going to fasten them to the frames so they're not loose, if that's what you were wondering.
Aí, ó.
43,8.
Now it's the most important step to make sure that this will work and won't leak and will make us very happy. That belongs to MP.
Ele mais próximo. Ele não pegou esse enchendo o bagulho.
Hey,
epoxying will be done on this superstructure. Finally, it's been added, sanded, finishing touches, sanded, and so on until now. Now it's as smooth as we want it, and now it's time to apply the varnish. We're not going to go to the final layers and anti-skid because that's going to be done before we go into the water. This is simply to protect the layers of epoxy and fiberglass that are on already. So it's going to be Vinicio is going to start off the job. We'll see how fast it goes with one little roller. We can use the roller to start with and see how it looks. And depending on that speed and how much varnish is used, I might join in. But this is the plan for now. It's going to look shiny and stay shiny. First layer is on, 9 layers to go. We've decided the paintbrush is the way to go and the roller we're going to leave for now. We are going to go up to about 5 or 6 now, and the last 4 layers we'll do before we go into the water. We were still hesitating what was going to be varnished and what was going to be painted, and after lots of thinking we decided to actually paint this bersola, as it's going to make the living room a lot more spacious. We're going to have lots, in this living area we're going to have lots of wood, and we had a little virtual plan made where this was white and it looked a lot better. So this is white now, it's also very protected. This is where the joint was, where the 2 parts are joined together, so it's also giving that a nice layer. So now I'm just going over with I just went over with a little Sikaflex, a white PU Sikaflex, just to go over and make the corners nice and round before we put the final paint layer on top of this. So I think it's looking very nice and I'm very happy with the result. Of course, painting something that was wood white is very sad, but we're very, very happy with the results. We have a lot more wood left, so don't worry.
Nice! I know when you look at this wall it doesn't look too colorful, but I promise it has a color, it's not just pure white. This is the shade of white we chose for the inside. It's called Alaska white. It has a bit of a grayish with a warm undertone. That's the idea. The idea is just so we don't have the pure white. This brings a more cozy atmosphere. I'll show you comparing to white how it actually is different. You can see here Alaska white, pure white. When comparing to white, you can really see how different it is. And we are very happy about this color. We'll have it on the walls, all the walls, also the ceiling, and that's gonna be the color of our home.
We are now wrapping up as much as we can of what has been varnished or kind of finished, so that we can start working on the epoxy layer that we're going to put before we're going to start fiberglassing the top of this roof, because no matter how clean you want to keep fiberglassing, at least me, I make a big mess. So all this around us and what I'm sitting on, it's all going to be covered before we actually start working. Vinicio is still varnishing the superstructure and Nico's actually preparing the inside beams to make look really nice, so we can start varnishing them as well. So it's all going to start looking better and better. And then I can't wait to get this fiberglass in to have it waterproofed. And that's going to be very cool. We have finally finished fiberglassing the superstructure and it's being varnished. Now we're going to move over to fiberglassing the roof of the pilot house, which is already caulked and with caulking cotton in between the planks, and it's also been the caulking compounds we place on top, so it should be waterproof. We, however, want to make it completely waterproof before we start adding solar panels. So the plan is with this, unlike there, where we have just put the carpet down and rolled with fiberglass to keep it with epoxy to keep it transparent. Here we're going to put the mesh, the neti manta, then a layer of the carpet. I'll write the names on the screen. But step number 1 is cleaning it, which we've done. I'm going to go with some ethanol cleaning alcohol to make sure there's no more liquidy parts or fats in it. And then when that's done, we should be able to apply the first layer of epoxy, which is going to be the base layer before we apply the fiberglass. Now with epoxy and without epoxy, this is one layer. I ended up using the spatula to get in to fill some little cracks. So my plan is to now let this dry completely, and because it's all shiny, I can see where there's little holes and cracks to go over it again and fill holes where I need to, and of course do this other part. I'll use this as a test, and this will look beautiful because it'll be done after a test. But yeah, I think it looks cool. Ready to receive some fiberglass soon. Two really cool things are going to happen today. One, Tizinho's boat is finally finished and he's going into the water. They're actually preparing all the cables now and the winch. He's going to be slowly lowered in. And second cool thing is for me to be able to continue fiberglassing or even epoxying the roof of the pilot house. That boom is in the way. So I think today we will take off the boom, bring it down, and hopefully the next time it heads back onto the boat, it'll be ready. So it is only a quick get rid of it for now, but it's for a big refit of the boom. And then we'll also have all that space to just work on the roof properly. But first, what's the name? Lucas is going into the water, which is the name of the boat. Very exciting times. And then these guys are also ready. Remember those crow's nests we were showing you before? That's how they look like when they're in place. See up in the mast? I think they look really cool. What do you think of putting one on Yabá, or at least a viewpoint in one of the masts to look at corals? Comment below if you think we should put one. Maybe we will. Or at the bowsprit, you choose. Oh!
Não tem uma chave? Vai abrir com isso?
Look at that boat in the background. Before, I'm easily distracted. Huge! Anyway, enough of that. This is actually very easy to remove, as in it's only one, I think 3/4 of an inch threaded bar. However, it's going to be very difficult once it's removed to bring it down. So first things first, I'm going to interrupt this while that boat passes, because that is very, very cool, and then we'll head back to this. That's why stuff takes longer than it should. Let's get back to work. Look how heavy it is. Easy. Now the difficult bit. We decided to take the sail off the furling system already, so that we can already store the sail nicely somewhere else, and then later we'll go up the mast to take the actual furling system off. And then, because if you have a look over here, you can see it's always in the way. Since we've removed it from the foremast, it's always been in the way, and now we really need to work on that. And this roof's nice and varnished, so we don't want to just be chucking it around anymore.
That's bad, né? The mission's done thanks to Ben, my dad and my uncle. I'm very thankful to them. We are very aware that this should have been done on day 1, day 0 even. We don't even know why we didn't do that before, but better late than never. So I'm very happy that at least one sail is down for now. We're gonna work on the other one soon, hopefully very soon. And we can see they are a bit crispy, but we see a future in them. I think the time we took to put that down will be forgiven. So yeah, 1 out of 4.
So I was just talking with Toninho, who is the guy who actually has an idea of what's going on in the shipyard. This boat is going to come and sandwich next to us, so the pirate ship can be lifted, and then this one is going to be placed behind the pirate ship. Even though he's going in the water tomorrow, they want to do that to start working on the next ship already. That's insane. I've finished applying 2 layers of epoxy on the port side of the roof and 1 layer on the starboard. I'm gonna let it dry to finish that off. I'm going over with a roller to just get the wood soaked in epoxy, and then I'm going over with the spatula to fill any little holes from screws or cracks or anything to make sure the fiberglass really coheres to the roof. Now, you can probably hear that dog squeaking. It's a dog, not a mouse, but the boat has been moved. The Vencedor S, or probably 5, has moved next to us, which is very exciting, but now you can see all 3 boats are lined up. The one on the right is actually going to be pulled up all the way, and then the swap can happen. This is all super exciting as well. I was very happy to be distracted doing the epoxy, to not worry about these 2 boats like crashing against each other or damaging each other. So I'm happy that that's done. The whole time these boats were maneuvering, I thought of something, and I probably told you a bunch of things, and none of them turned out to be true. So this boat that's now behind had to go in the water first, but was on top. So they now swapped around. That one there has swapped, so that this one can go in the water first, and this one can just take a little bit more time to finish what they need to do. Now the plan was to finish the swap very early this morning so that they could go in the water already using the high tide. However, they found a few more things to do. I don't know exactly what, but that's what they're going to work on now, and then they can go in the water. And then it's this guy's turn, and then it's hopefully our turn.
Fica bom trabalho. Tá bom, é? Aqui fica bom trabalho. Bastante saúde aí para trabalhar.
Boa pesca, né?
Então, eu estou aqui.
Solta aí, eu digo.
Okay, we have 2 news, a good one and a bad one. Which one you wanna hear first? The bad one, right? So the bad one is now that the roof of our pilot house is finally ready to start receiving the fiberglass. It's been raining all night and it's gonna rain the whole week, so we cannot do that for now. We have to wait. And the good news is, now that our neighbor's gone, the shipwrights that were working there are available, and we've been missing them so much, and we bet you're missing them too, because they've been so amazing to us and to Yabá. We have no words for them, and now they're finally available again to come back to us and continue to help us out here, because there's still a lot to do. So we're gonna start with the flooring of our house, which I'm so excited about. Welcome to our patron crew: Jay, Paul, Wendy, Toby, George and Robin, and Chris. And for the super thanks, thank you so much, Fernando, Juscelino, Greg, and Joseph. And thank you all for watching, and hope to see you next Sunday, as we will be posting our 100th episode, which we are very excited about. So see you then!